Hello. Hello, everybody. How are you today? Y'all know I always get on real goofy, but how you guys doing? It's been a long week for me. I don't know about you guys, but I had a long week. And I started not to even come on today, but we got some catching up to do and some things that we just need to discuss here. And one of the main topics today is will probably be voting. And the reason being is because we are just a couple days away from just all of the shenanigans. And I feel like it's important to discuss, even if we have just a brief conversation. So just jumping right into it. Um, a lot of people, blacks and Democrats, tend to stick together when there is a person of color running and to be elected. And I think that that's just a bad idea. We need to look at all of the things and the perks and everything that comes with to give it some balance and see what's important for us. Another thing is making up our own rules and own laws. I don't know if people are aware that we can come up with our own trend and things that or law to put in place to follow. And I think that's another topic to discuss because we complain a lot about things that we can't do and complain when someone's elected and then we the one that voted for him and then all these things are in place and we don't like it. So that's one of the things another thing that I think is very important to discuss. Mandela, I think that it's a good thing to look into all the things that he has to offer before you go voting. Not just the fact that he's a black man. Let's try to keep in mind all of the things that come into place when we are voting. We don't want to not vote for somebody because they are not a person of color. We have to look at things that we will benefit from. If you have any feedback or anything to say to this topic, please chime in. Please come on and join us and voice your opinions. But in all, I think that it's important for us to vote. Um, in the past, when I had a young mind, I would think it doesn't matter anyway. Things always remain the same, and we never see an effective change anyway. So why vote? Um, why vote is your civic right to vote. And there was a time, which I will argue that in the past as well, there was a time when people of color could not vote. And it's hard for me to even talk about a subject like that because I don't feel like it should have ever happened. We should ever had a problem with voting just because we're people of color. And now that we can, now we got to go rush and go vote and not see an effective change. So I know how you guys are feeling. I know that you may have these thoughts and things on your mind, but it is still important to vote because otherwise, then if there isn't a change, we can't complain. Or if there is or isn't, we can't complain about if you're not putting yourself into action and involving yourself in voting. Um, I do have a few guests that we're going to make them get involved in this conversation in a specific way. A lot of people have different opinions. I know I can't push them, but I'm being funny. Everybody who knows me, I have that sense of humor. But if your mind is not made up at this point, then what do you do? Do you just not vote, or do you begin your homework right now? What are your takes or your thoughts on voting?
I think just as a culture, I always look at it as like a culture thing. Like the white people, they gon' typically vote with like if it was a group of black men running and one white person, I feel like all the white people gonna vote for the white people, the white person, just cause they like one of us is in office, and like I feel like since it's a black man running, irregardless as to what he stand for, he still came from our culture. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's how Obama got in office. Like everybody, our culture stood behind him. The black people, the ghettos, the hip hop community, everybody was pushing him, and we was able to influence some other cultures too. Like our culture is strong, and we able to influence other cultures. So I feel like, regardless what he stand for, let's just as a race, as a culture, let's stand behind him because he came from these same streets we from. He made it that far. Why not vote for him? It's a simple like he not gonna change. They never change nothing. Nobody ever get in office and everything just completely changed. So let's put one of ours in office, even if we don't stand with what he stand for, or you might have something. I had the pleasure of meeting him before. He's a pretty decent person, well spoken, and he came from where we came from. So why not stand behind him and put him in office and support him? You know what I
I do
mean?
agree with
Like
that.
it's like the slave is like the slave mentality. Like yeah, we it used to they call it a house nigga. We it was a house nigga in the house with the white people, but he if he was a cool house nigga, he probably was giving them telling them inside stuff like, hey, they finna do this or they what I mean, I'm gonna leave the door unlocked so this can happen or this can happen or whatever the case be. But why not have one of ours in the house? You know what I'm saying? You could have off. You never know who he can bring in or what kind of doors he could open or how far he can go. Like let's push our own people. I think us as a culture, as a race, we never stand behind our own people.
We don't.
The Jews stand behind their people. You can't infiltrate their community. Look what they doing in Kanye. They not finna let Kanye divide they what they stand for. They standing together against him. They don't care about his money. They don't care about his influence, and that speaks volume. Like when you could stand together as a culture, as a race, that speaks volume, and not let nobody divide you. Uh, historically, our race been so divided by higher ups. I think if we come together as a race, put that man in office, and just show that we rocking with him and we believe him, then he'd be probably more inspired to do what he can do to his best ability to get the change that we need around the Milwaukee area.
So, what do you think? You just bring up a good point. And do you think that voting and voting alone is all that we need to do? Because sometimes we go out and we vote, and we that's just it. That we leave everything else up to that person. We do have the option to write in and call in and leave
But it's
voicemails and leave our ideas, come to rallies and different things like that to support um, this decision that we've made. We don't have to just vote and then leave it at that. We can stand behind them, support them, come together, see whatever he needs in the community so the change can be effective. What would you tell the people that we can do to come together to support our vote?
I mean, hold him like once you put people in office, you have to hold them accountable. Stand on what y'all was saying, just like they doing with Joe Biden. People and Joe Biden, like they holding Joe Biden accountable as to you said you was gonna do this, now do it. So he's doing it. He put that. I think he put the black lady as the Supreme Court or something, or he appointed a black
He
lady
did.
to like he doing for blacks that like we holding him accountable. You know what I mean? And I think it all trickles down even to a minuscule level that Mandela is running for, even though it's just statewide. But once we put him in office, we got to hold him accountable. You know what I
And
mean?
not
Like
just hold him accountable, but support him,
support
stand
him
behind
and
him.
hold him
And when he
accountable.
have requests from the community, then we need to stand behind
Yeah,
him and work together to make sure that those requests are made.
I think the problem is like, and this is like an old saying, but it's been brought up a lot. Like we put these people in office, we always see them when it's time to run, but as soon as we put them in office and they got their seat or whatever, we never see them again. So I think he need to once you do get in office, um, come back to these same ghettos, come back to these same communities, not just when it's time to run, but actually come out here and see what's needed. Milwaukee ain't a big city, so you know what's going on out here. You know what needs to be done.
Hmm.
You know how to if you really from here and from the grassroots of Milwaukee, you know how to reach the community. You know what needs to be done. You
Yep.
know where to go. This ain't a big city. Come out, make yourself visible, and be in touch with the people.
Hmm. I agree.
That's gonna be the most effective change.
That's going to be the most effective change. And the people, you heard it. We came to you direct today because that's one of the things that's very important right now. And I think around election time and when there is time to, when we do have some say, so in the decisions that's being made statewide, we need to learn how to not only come together and vote because not voting is not going to help. Come together and vote, And then once we have the vote out there, pay attention to what's going on. Know that you're still part of the decision that you make, so that you can make an effective change. When whomever is chosen, we need to make sure that we are supporting them, no matter if it was your vote or not. If that's who you voted for or not. If that person didn't get elected, we still need the support so that we can see a positive change within our community. So I just wanted to throw that out there and say something first about voting. Did you have anything else to input on voting?
Yeah, and just to be clarify everything, it's not like a race thing. I'm not saying be racist. I'm
Yeah, I like
saying
to stay away from that.
it's because it's not about a race thing. I'm not a
Hmm.
racist. I like all races, but I'm saying like if with one of your own people is running,
Hmm.
I feel like you should support them. Period. Like they made it that far. The struggles we face. Go ahead, sacrifice and put a vote in for
Yeah. So it sounds like you're just saying it doesn't matter the race, whomever it is that you do vote for, do your homework, know why you're voting. Um, and then if it's something, maybe a person of color and you come from that same background, then maybe you would like to stand behind them and support them.
them. Absolutely.
Okay.
If I was running, I would want everybody like come support me, man. Put your vote in for me. Hey, I ain't gonna be able to make a change, but I could probably tell you about a few conversations I heard around, in the house that they was finna happen. So, I come tell y'all what I
Having somebody
heard.
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with
like
that. I can see exactly where you're coming from with that.
better have one of us in the house than nobody,
Right. Yeah, I understand. But then, I can get deep into that and I don't want to. So I don't know that that matters in this day and time.
It
because
could.
of because of so many
It
different
could, but
things
it
changing.
couldn't.
I don't know if that's going to make a difference.
You
I
never
don't want
know.
to go there because then it'll turn into a race thing, and I really don't want to do that.
But is it not really a race thing
It
already?
is. It definitely is.
But go
But and
ahead.
this is why the conversation needs to take place, because we do think that, but we think about that solely, and that's not what we need to make that as the surface. Because there's so
They
many
are. We
underlying
don't gotta
issues.
make it. They already made it as when Donald
It
Trump
is
was
that way.
when Donald Trump was running. What did he say to black
I,
people?
I don't want to go there.
No, I'm
I
just
simply
saying.
don't want to go there, and the reason being is because we want the people to vote, and we
We.
don't want to turn people away from voting.
I'm not trying to. I'm making it. I'm not making it a race thing. But what I'm saying is, po- politics has traditionally always been about race.
Yeah,
They always say, "I can do this for the black community." Donald Trump's speech. What did he tell black people? What the hell do you have to lose? Like I could do more for the blacks. And he
he
stand
did.
and Donald Trump stand on that. He's standing on like I did more for black people than any president. He really believed that. So it's always been a race
He did a good
card.
job. I mean, and I can go back and I can go deep, and I can really go on and on with this. But the reason why people stay away from political conversations is because, we do get too involved and too deep into
Yeah.
racial situations, and we don't want to do that. Simply because many people have unmade up minds, and they don't know exactly what they're going to do just for the next few days on voting. Um, and I understand because I had, and it was really pondering on me a lot. I got so many emails and conversations and phone calls and different things about voting, and I was unsure at one point, and I still don't have a solid vote confirmed within me. I just don't know exactly what I'm gonna do,
Man,
but I
vote
know
for
that I
Mandela
have
Barnes. He
to
know the
vote.
he know the
He's
price of
going for Mandela.
he know the
I
cost of
feel
a
like
gallon of
I
milk.
feel like you should do your homework, decide what it is that you want to do, and vote. Regardless if you
Yeah.
don't know what it is you want to do, find out what you want to do, find out who it is you want to vote for, and go vote because your vote does count. Okay, go vote. Moving right along, I just wanted to throw that in because I think that we have this issue every time, every time it's time to vote. That time rolls around, people are so confused. It's just so many different things that come about. It makes you not want to vote or vote, and people are asking me, "You can vote? You gonna vote?" I don't know. I always wait to the last minute, even with the big election. So I don't know exactly what it is that I'm going to do yet either. But I know that I have to vote because I know my community is at stake here. I wanted to touch a little bit back on relationships a little bit here, and we're just going to move right along and slip on into that. I had a really good weekend. Did you guys have a good weekend? I wouldn't call it a good weekend. I wouldn't let me go back a little bit. I'm not gonna call it a good weekend, but I really had a good time bonding with family. Let me just say that. Had a really good time bonding with family, getting to know family. Um, and we did have a celebration, a homegoing celebration, and I think it was put together very nicely. It was peaceful, serene, and I believe that a legacy has been left behind within that can go so far if people pay attention. So I'm really, really excited to see what happens with this legacy, and I am in full support behind it in hopes that everything works out fine and knowing that everything's going to be okay. Um, as far as relationship goes, it's more of marriage talk for me because I feel like a lot of marriages are failing, and I keep saying that. I've been saying that the last few shows because I think that there's a problem with faithfulness, and a lot of men think that they want everything and so many different personalities when it comes down to us men and women, and I feel like we sometimes lose sight as to what it is that we want. The focus is taken off, and sometimes we just want to say, us women, I'm speaking for us women at this point right now, we just want to be able to say, I got this at home and I'm good. I'm secure in my marriage. My man ain't gonna cheat on me. We want to say that. And we want to say that, and we want to be able to openly say that and be comfortable in our marriage so that we can grow. Marriage is so challenging, and I'm never a stranger to this conversation. I don't hide anything. I'm very open when it comes down to me and my experiences. And I feel like people are really losing sight as to what it is it takes to have longevity in a marriage. And respect is gone. Respect is lost. I have to look at things just for the way it is, and I've been asking questions and talking to different married couples about how they feel being married and what advice would they give, and it's always like, don't get married, stay single as long as you can, or don't have kids, and all of these things are changing. The conversation has changed, and I can remember how the excitement is when you first get married and then you start getting to know people, and and you begin to get their personalities down pat, because you really don't know until you get married and you start having to share bills and shared meals and food and understanding what the requirements is for another person um, to live an everyday happy life. I think that once you break trust and lose trust, it's gone forever. Once you do something to a person, or like cheating, lying, taking from that person, abusing them, doing things to cause any type of discord in your marriage, to lose trust, I think that it's gone forever. Is there a way that we could get that trust back? Do you think you can ever look at the person the same after you've lost that trust, depending on the depth of it? Do you think that a marriage could move forward the same way it did before, and you can have that same love? Because sometimes you can do something to a person and it'll never come back. And I think that that's one thing that men don't understand about women. They'll tell you to get over this and get over that after they've made a mistake, and they don't understand that that mistake is so detrimental. And then you'll say, why don't you just leave then? Why don't you just get out of the marriage and leave if you can't get over it, if you can't feel better? Well, it wasn't my choice for you to make that mistake. That's why. So this conversation can go on and on. I'd like to hear some men opinions on this, just because, just to get a clear understanding and a view on what a man thinks after they make a mistake. And I say men because women don't make mistakes like that. I don't feel like they do. I don't think. I really, honestly and truly, listen. I honestly and truly
I
think.
know somebody, that girl who just had a baby. I'm like,
I
oh
honestly and truly
damn.
believe that women only cheat after they're hurt. I honestly and truly believe in my heart, and I'm not lying. I'm serious and I'm being straight up.
These
I
women,
honestly and truly believe that a woman will never cheat on someone that they love and they're committed to if they don't ever break that commitment.
I say,
Men are
to
naturally
answer
cheaters.
yeah, men are naturally fishers. We naturally, you know, hunt for what we want. But um, nowadays, women cheat just as much as men. Um, like women try to do everything men do. So the playing field is really even, in my opinion. Like women will, and I ain't saying like they they not going out there. They don't have to go out there and just hunt for or look at, what I mean, or try to talk to it. Like men naturally do that, but I feel like women, it's the same thing. If a woman is allowing it, if you allow every dude to be in your face or every you can't stop it, but you can't stop it. It's a certain way you carry yourself. Like if you carry yourself like you single, if you carry yourself like you don't have a man, and you allowing all these dudes to be in your face, you just as guilty as going out talking to a dude because dude's gonna approach you. You know what I mean? So it's like if you carry yourself like you single and you allowing all this, you know what I mean? Then you just as guilty as a dude going out talking to a woman. Because what's the difference? That's the way women talk to men. Women talk to men by making themselves seem available or seem like they don't have nobody.
So would you only approach do you think a man will only approach a woman that looks single or seems
No,
single?
no. I'm saying when it comes down to men talking to women and we classify that as cheating, I'm saying the way women talk to men, like the way a woman talk to a man, she's not going to go up and talk to him, but she's going to make herself seem like she's free and available.
Men do that too, all the time, in a relationship or not. I see it.
That's what I'm saying. It's the same. I'm saying it's the same thing. Like, because people always say, "Man cheat, man cheat, man cheat," but I'm saying my argument is that women just as guilty. Like when a woman go out, if she carrying herself like she's single, being with a bunch of single ladies, knowing she got a dude at home, if she letting every dude be in her face, like if she just being super like nice, like what I mean, just like not stiff at all, not don't have no boundaries when she out, like letting every dude put a drink in their face, letting every dude, you know what I mean? Like not setting no boundaries as to because if your dude was out doing that to you to another female, you would be like, why are you doing that? You know what I mean? So it's like, why are you accepting that? Why are you letting this dude do that to you? So it's even in my eyes. Like if you willing to accept a dude buying you drinks or being mad, flirty with you, talking to you, you might as well you just as guilty as your dude going out doing it to another woman. It's the same thing.
But men typically
You know what I mean?
initiate that. Men typically initiate
Right,
that
but if a
because what?
woman allow it, my thing is this: if you at a bar and you got a dude at home, a dude slide his seat next to you, start talking to you, offer you to buy you drinks, and you accept that. You don't slide your chair back. You don't say, no, I'm good. You don't say, I have a man. You don't do none of that. And you just go with the flow. You just as guilty as your man going out doing that to another female.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. But that's and it's
So
okay.
everything I
It's
just
okay
said,
not to agree.
would you be okay with your dude doing that to another woman,
No, I guess my whole point is this.
or
When I
would you
talk
be
about
okay with if a woman did that to your dude?
no,
So you wouldn't be okay with a woman pulling her seat next to your dude at a bar, buying him drink, having conversation with him, compliment him, trying to talk to him. You wouldn't be okay with that.
no.
So why would it be okay for a dude to do that to a woman?
But that's not the conversation that we're having. We're saying
I'm
more
saying,
of
and that just goes back to my point that women cheat just as much as men.
mm-mm.
It depends on how you look at the
So my
situation.
question to you was, okay, so if let's say that a man in a marriage that the husband cheats, right? And the woman somehow finds out. But that man made that decision to cheat,
Hmm.
to ruin their marriage, to cause discord, to cause the woman to feel some type of way.
Okay.
My question was, when that woman goes out, she doesn't feel that love, and she doesn't feel like she doesn't feel adequate in her marriage. It takes everything away from all the sacred things that they're supposed to have. So moving forward, sometimes men may say, if you're not gonna forgive me, maybe like a week later after they find out, if you're not gonna forgive me, then why are you still here?
I
I
say,
was always here because I love you,
oh,
because
yeah,
this is our marriage, this is what's going on. You decided to
yeah,
cheat.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
I
I get what
didn't
you're saying.
want you to cheat on me. You cheated on
Yeah,
me, and these are the results. I might have to go out and make myself feel loved some type of way. When somebody approach your wife after you've done those type of things, then they may be more apt to let somebody pull up what do you expect? And then to have
yeah.
the
I mean,
attitude to say,
if
well,
you,
why don't you just leave? And you got this attitude, you walking around like this now, why don't you just leave? No, like, why don't you fix it
yeah, yeah,
permanently?
I agree. Like, if it got to the point where you cheat, a man cheated, and she found out, then if you gonna still be with that woman, see, this the problem that happens. The dude feel like I cheated, she found out, and I still gotta be there. No, I like if you cheated and she found out. For number one, the first thing a man should do is decide if he still want to be there. Because if I still want to be there, I'm gonna have to be patient. I'm gonna have to let her heal. I'm gonna have to go through all these roller coaster emotion rides, ups and downs.
It won't be
I'm gonna have to
easy.
be selfless. So I think that's the mistake that happens. Like if you get caught cheating, you just got to keep it real with yourself and be like, am I ready to take on fixing this? If I am ready to take on fixing this, I got to be all those things: patient, selfless. You know, she might go out to a bar, flirt with other men. I might have to just deal with that. You know what I mean? To just show her like I'm, sympathetic and apology. Now, that's one scenario. Another scenario, if a man cheat and he tell you he cheated, in my eyes, that's different because it's like he keeping it real with you and you not finding out nothing. He done told you everything. He kept it real with you. So he probably got a little more real estate in terms of like how he can expect his expectations from you moving forward. Like I kept it real with you. I don't expect you to, you know what I mean? I kept it real about my mistake. Like you should honor that. Like most women don't respect that initially, but I feel like in the long run, or even if the relationship do go south and they never end up back together, I feel like maybe years later she could look back and appreciate it. Like, man, dude cheated, but he kept it real with me. He ain't have me looking
I
crazy.
wonder, I
He
mean,
ain't
just
have me looking crazy. He ain't have me out here looking stupid. I knew everything. He told me everything. I could respect that. You know what I mean? Even though we're not together, I could look back and say, dude kept it real with me.
But still, after he kept it real with her and told her the truth, it's still a behavior that
Yeah,
took place.
it's still a be.
You would think that moving forward, that husband would still have the same responsibility of he opened up. He's whether he told the truth or not. That's nice, but you still cheated. So at
Still
the end of the
cheated, still
day,
made
it's
a
at the
mistake,
end of the
but
day, it's still like you cheated. And this, and in a woman's mind, it's like this is what you did to me, to us as a family, and this is
but
something
as
that
a
now
woman, would
no,
you rather your man tell you, or would you rather find out yourself?
I'd rather it not happen.
No,
And
I'm
that's the
saying if
thing.
it would you rather it be scenario one or scenario two? Meaning scenario one, you find out. Scenario two, he tell you,
I would much rather him tell me.
and you could respect the man more for that,
I
right?
can respect him for telling me,
That's what I'm
but
saying.
not the
So
fact that
it wouldn't be
nothing's a
the fact
woman.
that the fact that he tell you takes away from like he can't be honest with you. You feel me? Like it takes away like that thought of like of uncertainty. Like not that thought of like, man, I completely trust him. Not that thought, but the thought of like I ain't have to find out nothing, so I know he ain't doing nothing behind my back. He was man enough to tell me on his own. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that got to hold some type of real estate in the field of cheating versus a woman just finding out. You know what I'm
But
saying?
would you think all the time that just because that man was truthful and honest that time, that he will be every time?
Yeah, because if it bothered him that much to the point where he tell you, then I feel like once he break that barrier and like, because it's not really about you, it's about that man just being real with himself and being able to stand on what he did. Most men cheat and don't tell their woman because they can't stand on what they did. You, like as a man, you have to be able to live and die with all your decisions because God already see. Like I'm never gonna be afraid to tell my truth to a person that got air in their lungs, and you know what I mean. Like we all human beings, so it's like God already see. So, and the Bible say, "Tell your truth to set you free." When you tell that truth, guess what? You're gonna be free from anything having to keep telling a lie or keep having to go with a lie or keep having to cover up a lie. You free from having to tell a lie. And now y'all could actually, if y'all decide to heal and move forward on better grounds than you finding out that he did that and being betrayed. It takes away betrayal when you're able to keep that honesty for. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So
What would you say to women out here that's dealing with a cheating husband or have experienced that, that's sitting there insecure and want to pick her husband mind? You know, with a man that's trying his best to be better, or trying to
man,
prove to her that this is not something, or to a woman who has been cheated on, and it doesn't seem like that man is even trying from a man's perspective.
well, what I tell a woman that's
What
dealing
would
with
you
that?
tell a woman that's dealing with that? Like I mean, like a man's perspective that has cheated already or something like that, like to ease a woman's mind. How does a man think when it comes down to things like that? Because we've all been there.
It depends on how her initial reaction was. But I would say to that woman, like if the dude gonna treat you how whatever you accept. If I cheated on you and you kind of low key accepted it, like you kind of know your dude though. Like if he is that type of person, like being around, like man, talking to every woman, the player type, you know what kind of dude you're dealing with. I'll just say that to begin with. You would know if this is like a mistake or if this dude is really that way. And if that dude is really that way, then that's your answer. That's how this dude is. He probably won't change till you leave. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta step back and just let people be themselves to see, like, is this person really that kind of person?
Yeah.
Because I want to be with a person that's really the person who they are, not a person they are like this with me. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be with a dude that's um he's saying I'm with you, so I'm just gonna be faithful because I'm with you. You should be with a dude because he gonna be faithful to his woman because that's what kind of dude he is. He a stand up faithful dude, not because he with you because he so I'm gonna be faithful because you setting yourself up for a mistake down the line. You only can front for so long. I mean, you can only front for you got the person you are is the person you are. You know what I mean? So it's like so to that question is like at the kind of dude you got. And I ain't saying dudes can't change, but I'm saying really sit down and analyze what kind of dudes you got. You know what I'm saying? Is he a dude who like to be in who like to talk to a lot of women? Did he talk to a lot of women in his past? You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of dude is this? What is my, what am I really, the stuff I'm expecting from him? Is this kind of dude really capable of giving me or meet my expectations?
And you say capable because he probably wasn't taught that, but it can be learned behavior.
Exactly. So it's like, is this kind of dude? Because a lot of times women get with a dude who was a player or mess with a lot of girls or just out, you know what I mean? And thinking they finna change this dude. No, you're not finna change him. You setting yourself up for a big disappointment. It's like the kind of dude, you know, and then that boils down to like, get with the dude that works for you. That dude who cheating on you might not be the dude you're supposed to be with. He might be a stop sign.
And
Like,
that's what I said last episode. I said sometimes we just go with what we think is happening or what we think we like, and
yeah,
then we have all these problems, and it's like you're with the wrong person anyway. You
yeah.
with
It's like
somebody you shouldn't even be with in the
you gotta
first place.
analyze yourself. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for example, look at Emily being Fabulous. Like, she know what she was signing up for messing with Fabulous. He said it in his songs. You know. Plus, look at, I mean, we talking about Fabulous.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, so you really with this dude thinking he could try. You know what I mean? He
and
could,
he did,
and he did,
and he did.
but he
I have
also
to give him at least
he
that.
tried.
He
You know what I'm
did.
saying?
He did.
He made changes,
He
but at the
did.
end of the day, it's like, come on, Emily, we seen you crying on Love and Hip Hop. We seen all that's like you
Yeah,
knew,
she was pretty down.
yeah, like,
She did. She went through a lot.
and it goes like, and to that point, even with like, I don't want to speak on that situation, but
Yeah.
even with like just any woman, I would say know what you're signing up for when you meet this dude. You know what I'm saying? Don't get with no dude thinking you finna change or he just finna lock down with you just because you thinking he's supposed to. It don't work like that. Just as good as you look, it's a million like they making girls now, so they get the yeah
Booties,
like
everything. You get
so it's
everything, the
not
whole
a
package if you want it.
it's never about your don't ever get with a dude and think he finna lock down with you because of your looks.
That's
You
true.
got to offer him some way, or he just got to be that kind of dude, you know. So I would say to that woman who dealing with that, you know, be willing to just, hey, if he seems sincere, if he seems apologetic, if he trying to fix it, you know, for what it's worth, if it's worth it, give him a shot. The damage is done already, so all you could do is really sit back and see and let him go with his move and see how he gonna fix it. If it's worth it to you, but if it ain't, leave it alone, man. Live your life. Like you don't owe nobody nothing.
So staying there, what he's saying, ladies, is staying there after there was some cheating or showing him, proving to him that you could do it too, or you better, or this type of thing. That doesn't change the situation. Your money is not going to matter. How big your house is not going to matter. Your beauty is not going to matter. it's what you have to offer intellectually, and how you guys can define each other personalities and pull it together and different things like that. It's really a soul match
Yeah.
that men are looking for, a soul match, and everything else will come together. It's not going to matter what you're doing um, materialistically when it comes down to or even artificial things like, a fake booty and your makeup and how pretty and how much you can fix yourself up, how nice your clothes match. It's really not going to make a big difference on all those things that gives a man his decision on whether or not he's going to be good to you. A man's going to be good. It's going to be good to you if he wants to be good to you, if he loves you, and you have that soul tie. Is that pretty much what you're saying?
Yeah, like a dude going like if he finds somebody that he feels is worth it, he's going to try his best to be good to you.
Okay.
But what I'm saying also saying is the kind of person he is matters too. Like meaning like if I was a cigarette smoker,
Mhm.
I'm gonna really try to stop smoking cigarettes,
Mhm.
but I might slip up and have a cigarette.
Every now and
You know what
again.
I mean? So it's like that dude. If he like if he just like a lot of women and he he into what I mean? Because naturally everybody get used to everybody. Meaning like y'all gonna wake up and see each other in their worstest states and their best
Mhm.
states, and it's like it's never gonna be about you know what I mean. Just about it's gonna you're gonna have to have something else there to really like keep his attention or keep him what I mean if you know what I mean. But it's really like depending on what kind of man this dude is. And I ain't saying man can't change, but if he ain't never been in a faithful relationship, his ideal of faithful, like you got to really understand. Like talk to your ladies, talk to your dude before you really lock in with him. Ask him his idea.
Communicate.
Yeah, ask him his idea, his philosophy of a faithful relationship. See if it aligns with your expectations before you go any
But
further.
men can lie. You can talk to them and say, "Look, these are my
But you
expectations."
know what kind of dude you're dealing with. You know that based on how you met this dude.
How you met them?
Yeah, you would know what kind of look. 9 times out of 10, when you meet somebody, you meet them in the same city y'all in. You pretty familiar with that.
First mistake.
You know what I mean. You pretty familiar with that city. You pretty familiar of who the people is in this city. You pretty
Yeah.
familiar with the circles in this
Right.
city.
Yeah.
You pretty familiar with everything, and it's easy to figure out what kind of dude you're dealing with. Now, I ain't saying base your decision on dealing with that person, but I'm saying let that be a foundation as to knowing, okay, this is what kind of dude I'm dealing with.
Right.
And that's gonna help you gauge your expectations. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna go if I met a stripper and I wanted to be with a stripper and I know she a stripper, I'm not finna make my expectations like that's gonna help me gauge my expectations of this person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, dang, she a stripper, so
Yeah. You know what's coming with
yeah,
that.
just to make my point clear. Like, so if this kind of dude is that kind of dude, then that's gonna help you gauge your expectations. Like,
So, do you think that with men, when they do actually decide to get married and then they still cheat, are they trying to keep that woman for themselves? Are they being like selfish, where they don't want that
a
woman to be
married
with
man
nobody
cheating,
else
I
because
said,
they don't want their wife to cheat? They want to be able to do what they want to do, and then
see, man, it depends. Like a man would cheat. It's a lot of reasons a man to cheat, but a married man cheating can be a lot of reasons. It could be one, he not satisfied at home. They not communicating. They on bad terms. Something easy came along. Something like
because
two.
outside women mostly are just easy, right?
It, not necessarily.
Most times they easy.
Not
It's the
necessarily.
easy thing.
It depends. No, it depends. Most
Going for whatever, going for everything. They have nothing to lose.
it depends. Sometimes, man. A woman wouldn't even know a man is married.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So
Mm.
I can't say
But that doesn't mean she's not easy.
I can't say she's just easy, but it's like, like
It's not somebody you really
most.
looking at like marriage materials, because you wouldn't want to be with a woman knowing you married and she has to be temporary.
I say if you happily married, you're not finna cheat. A man happily married, he gonna try his best to fight that temptation. But a lot of men don't think what they think with their lower head, not their upper head. Like a dude cheating don't know the magnitude of his decision when you decide to lay down with another woman. Like you got kids at home, y'all got a family, you finna break your family up, your kids finna feel crazy going to school, like y'all finna be like it's gonna be so much for that type, for that quick, what I'm saying, that quick pleasure that whatever you see in that other woman, but it's like, nah, married dudes cheat for different kind of reasons. Every married nigga ain't cheating for the same reason.
Mm.
A married dude, because his married situation could be different from the next married man situation, meaning like, okay, he just feel like he might be a little devious, like, man, I got a good wife, she's stupid, I'm finna do this behind her back, she ain't gonna,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying, just
Mm-hmm.
taking her and you know what I mean, taking her whole his whole marriage for granted, versus another dude, he could be on bad terms with his wife for a long time, and like, just he could go to a strip club, it could get a little crazy, and anything could pop off, and he been done cheat. You know what I mean? Like it depends. Like with a married man, it always depends on their situation. For most married men ain't cheating for the same reason.
Well, you did speak earlier in the conversation about women making it seem like they're not married and different things like that. Men do that too. You
Yeah,
would never see a man ring and all this and this and that. You would never see them wear their ring, or even like on their Instagram or whatever it is that they're involved in. You will never see that man's ring. So why should a woman act like she married if you hide in your marriage? And why do men even hide their marriage? Why would they hide their ring? Why wouldn't they be open? Once you married, you married. Like, what is there to hide?
I don't know. I can't speak on that, but I would say like what I was saying to that point. I was saying that you were saying like a lot of dudes go out there and cheat and try to talk to other women. I was saying women just as guilty if they allowing it to happen to them.
Right, but it's certain things that make a woman do that though.
I ain't,
Women are
I ain't
not
get
by nature
into.
like
I
men.
never said why she was doing it. I just said if she do that, she just as guilty as her dude going out talking to another woman. I don't know that, just every situation is different. So it's like I don't know, but I know she would be just as guilty as if she was letting her dude. If her dude was going out talking to other women, and she was letting every dude come in her face talk to her, she's just as guilty as her
But it
dude going
always
out there.
comes from something though. I know you're not really
It
saying that
can't always come from. It don't have to always come from nothing. It could just
behavior
be like
always
she
comes
was
from
just.
something.
It
A
could
baby
be
cry because
most
they
women.
hungry.
Most women feel like they innocent because they not initiating the conversation. But you just as guilty as if you participating in that conversation. Initiation and participation is the same thing. And I'll say that again for the people in the back.
Say it. I got some up on the
Initiation
back too.
and participation is the same thing. If a dude go out and try to talk to a woman and he talking to her, buying her drinks, and they hitting it off, and he trying to, get her number and all of that, and a woman accepting that and allowing that, it's the same thing. You want to chime in on, like
Anytime in there.
to
That's the
me,
thing.
that's the same
He
thing.
got relationship problems.
Because I
Relationship
know
problems.
if we talk, we can go for a whole hour.
Yeah, we go in.
So to me, in my opinion, initiation and participation is the same thing.
Well, it can be, and in my opinion, just to close this out, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. In all honesty, and I try not to hold things back. And I think that I have been, and the reason why, and I don't say that I stand in the gap for women 100% because I know women can do whatever, but 90% I am because I see a lot in our community. Even like when I'm out, I could just be sitting out with my girls or with one of my girlfriends, and we could be out eating or something, and a guy is sending a drink across the room, a married man. And the reason why you can't tell he married is because that's the representation. They don't have a ring on their finger.
But if you in a situation,
Then they give you their IG. Oh, look me up. I do this. I do that. You can't tell they're married. All those type of things, And you maybe a woman wouldn't mess with you if you're married, and maybe they will. But you're not giving them the opportunity to make a decision if you're not exploiting your wife or flaunting your ring like you should be, letting people know, look, I'm married, I'm a married man, but this is what you get. Then everybody making the same decision.
If you in a situation, if a dude send you a drink and you in a relationship with a dude, in my opinion, you should not accept that drink.
A drink don't make you in a relationship with somebody.
No, but it's a point of boundaries. Women have to learn how to set boundaries. And that's why I was saying, women think because they not initiate nothing, they not guilty. No, participation and initiation is the same thing. If I'm sending you drinks and you accepting them and you in a relationship, you guilty too, because you should be saying, no, I'm good. I'm not finna accept, because you wouldn't want your man accepting drinks from another woman, her sending him drinks. Well, what is that woman telling that man if she's sending him drinks? What is she telling him?
They're trying to open up a conversation.
Right. And would you think it's acceptable for your man to accept drinks?
No, what I'm saying is I don't think
answer that question. Would you think it's acceptable for your man to accept drinks from another woman and accept all that?
It depends. Some people just do a nice gesture.
No, it's a yes or no, just yes or no.
Yes, I do. I don't think
you would think is it okay for your man to accept that kind of attention from another woman? You find that okay?
It depends.
Just answer. It's a yes or no.
Because I don't have to answer questions.
So you walk in, your man never told you. You just happen to walk into a spot. You see your man. You see him at the bar. You see a woman.
Let me answer the
what
question.
You gonna think?
Let me answer the question for you, since I have to do.
Yeah, you got to answer the question.
So if whatever, if I see my man across the room, or I'm not even there, whatever, and a woman send him a drink, no, I'm not gonna think nothing of that all the time, because you don't know.
I didn't say think. I said, do you think that's okay for a man to accept drinks from a woman sending him drinks? She obviously she low key shooting her shot at him.
No.
Do you think that's?
I can't always say that.
Would you think it's acceptable for that man to continue to accept them drinks all night?
No.
Or should he
if he's married and he's not doing the same thing? No.
That's what I'm saying.
If there's a mutual agreement that this is what we do in a marriage, then no.
That's my question.
But if like I said, now I keep going back to this. If a man is not 100 in his marriage, he cannot expect 100%. You have to be given 100% to get 100%, right. And that takes a lot of the marriage.
I'm not even talking about it. I'm just saying it in general.
In general, but I'm talking about.
I'm not talking
marriage.
About. I'm just saying, if you're in a relationship, because a lot of times women be like, they feel like, okay, he sent me a drink. I ain't did nothing. You did something when you accepted that drink.
Well,
just like if
everybody right now though, because we have to close out, that I have stopped drinking. Give me a round of applause. Can we push it? I stopped drinking because I feel like, because we're getting ready to close, but I just wanted to let everybody know we're supposed to have like a positive note that we're supposed to have in the beginning. I missed that because we talked a little bit about voting, but I stopped drinking because I feel like it does something to your skin, to your body, even your vision. Like I feel like a lot of things that you put into your body can change the way your body function. And if that even is all that it does, it just it started to do things to my body that I don't think is normal. Like, and I can't handle liquor. I never could handle liquor. If I have one or two drinks, it's over. I'm just saying everything. Doing some I ain't gonna say doing everything, but I'll pretty much my mouth can go a mile a minute, and I don't like that. I don't think that that's attractive. I don't think it's cute. I don't think that it's appropriate. So I stopped drinking. I might have a glass of wine here or there, but outside of that, drinking heavily, I don't do that anymore. Um, and plus, I want to pray more too. So praying and drinking ain't gonna mix. So I feel like I'm happier, I'm more clean, I don't have as many headaches, and my pores and everything can breathe correctly without any chemicals. And I just think that it's very important. Drinking is one of those things that I think that people end up leaning on when they're having a hard day or bad things are going on, and then it makes it worse. You wake up with a hangover, you wish you would never drink, and you wake up with guilt all over you. So there's more to it, but I stopped drinking, guys. So give me a round of applause. Be happy for me. Push me in this journey because I don't, and it's not going to be hard for me because I'm not addicted to alcohol. Um, but I just want to say to us women, let's watch what we put into our bodies and make sure that we are doing like a self cleanse. I've been having like fruit bowls and things that I come up with, granola. Um, Aloe vera is really good for your skin and hair. You want to drink some stuff. We getting into beet juice. You know, if you're diabetes, beet juice and water, and try teas instead of soda. Try to stay away from soda. Your water intake, you should be doing at least a gallon a day. Let's start drinking more water, ladies, just to keep everything going strong within our bodies and in our minds so we can think straight and have the strength to deal with marriages and men and relationships and dating. We have to have a clear mind. Let's not drink ourselves away before we find our Boaz, okay? And we're just going to go ahead and end on that note. Again and again, I say it over and over again. You can find me on YouTube, here on Instagram. Facebook is not up, but Spotify, iHeartRadio. Go ahead and look for me, support me. Keep sending those topics, guys, because it's so worth it and it does manifest itself through the shows. We are having a good time here, and I am loving these topics and the feedback y'all give me. I am just blessed. I get really good feedback and some bad topics too. That some of the topics that some of you people want to talk about, we can't go there. Like, no. I could share one, but and I'm not even gonna go there either. But yeah, some of the things that you guys have given me feedback and saying, giving me like little pointers here and there, it works and it's helping me to grow. I'm not as shy as I was before. I'm coming out a little bit, and I want to say thank you to all the viewers and people that are viewing and supporting the little five people. I do appreciate you because I ain't going nowhere. We're gonna keep doing this thing until it happens, okay? Again, join and chime in every Sunday at 3 p.m. We are here live. You can catch me on the radio, YouTube. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Support is always appreciated here at Chatty Queens Brunch Club. Peace out.